I want to start with a question that really doesn't have anything to do with floods or fires or snowstorms or tornadoes. And it is, we were working with a couple who is moving back to Atlanta. They're buying a nice home. I think the purchase price of the home is $2.3 million, maybe $2.4 million. I don't remember exactly what it is. And they called their insurance company to get a quote. And the quote was, we cannot insure your home. And so what they were told was that the insurance company had done a replacement value calculation, and it was probably 15,000 square feet. And they said the replacement value was $4 million or something like that. And they said that exceeded their coverage limits. I didn't know that there were any such thing as coverage limits. So talk to us about coverage limits, and also talk to us if somebody can't find, I'm going to say a normal, the big names you know around the country to insure something, what other options do they have for homeowners insurance?
Yeah, so every carrier nationwide will have some sort of a replacement cost tool that they'll utilize when you get that quote and you give them the details of your property,
right?
Bedroom, bath count, square footage, things of that nature, and they'll calculate it. And it's not uncommon that the larger the structure, the greater or the higher percentage above the purchase price or above the market value, that replacement cost estimator may vary. And every carrier is going to have a limit to where they're going to say, okay, we're at our exposure. So when you're in that price point, it's key to make sure that you chat with your professional, with your current carrier, and find out what their price point is. And when they give you that feedback and it's that much off, I would maybe ask to validate the data points of what the actual above grade square footage is, things that should make sure they have not made a calculation error, which does occur. Well, I mean, it can be challenging because with all the data points that exist out there on a property that is on the marketplace, between county records, listings, and things of that nature, the data can vary from location to location.
That is true. What it would be a common replacement value coverage limit that maybe a carrier in the state of Georgia would have?
Yeah, when you're looking at your major players, your big box carriers, they're all going to stop anywhere from that $2 to $2.5 million of a replacement cost. That's kind of be their appetite for exposure. To where they're going to anything beyond that, we're going to go look at some specialized carriers that do exist in the marketplace. That'll go to 5 and 10. They'll take on those exposures.
Let's move into another subject. We've had floods and we've had fires and snowstorms and tornadoes. We've had a lot in the past year. I don't know if we've had more than other years, but it seemed like a lot. How do these natural disasters affect home insurance claims? And then ultimately, I would assume it affects the cost of the insurance or the premiums, because over time, the insurance company has to stay profitable so they can pay claims.
As you know, insurance is all pooled money. It's money in versus money out. So when we have these type of major disasters, it's the biggest impact that's going to happen to your rate statewide, because it's going to be such a drain on all the resources of the carriers, of the local vendors. And it's when we have these type of big issues, the biggest frustrating piece that always comes about it is the time it takes for a claim to process through. Every company will have some sort of a catastrophe team where they'll bring in a higher percentile of what they normally would have as adjusters in the marketplace to have more boots on the ground to help get a homeowner back into a pre-catastrophe state as quickly as possible. I would tell the homeowner out there the average time of that claim is, I know this may not sound like the best way, but it's going to be as proactive as that homeowner is themselves. How quickly they've lined up their vendors, how quickly they get on the phones and start that claim process and get to the front of the line and have your documents and everything ready to where when an adjuster comes out or you get a phone call and you can turn things around as quickly as possible. The claim process can be very streamlined, but if it's a lot of missed calls and a lot of phone tag, because you're dealing with life and your adjuster is dealing with 10,000 people who have had the same tornado, the same hurricane, it becomes a challenging, frustrating, time-consuming process with every carrier.